What inspired you to become a minister?
Well, it's like anybody who's really called. I was called, and I was in Hollywood. I was going to do television, movies, and stuff like that. I was on a television show called Hello Larry at the time, and I wasn't thinking about being a Christian or the ministry. In fact, I knew nothing about Christianity at the time because I'm one of the few who grew up in the South who didn't go to church. I didn't go to church, but God spoke to me, and He called me, and the best thing ever happened to me.
So what type of ministry do you have?
I'm an evangelist, and I travel around the country. I've been invited to go outside of the country, but at the moment I'm called to the local churches of America. And this is where I am, and I help other people who are going out of the country, but right now I am called for.
Now, how did you come in contact with this gentleman sitting next to you, Pastor Tim?
Another basketball player here around this area, he told me about this pastor here, and I should meet him. And we met, and we just fell in love with his family. And he asked me, could he sit under my ministry? And I said, oh, man, somebody asking me. I said, yeah, this is it. And we're trying to mentor each other.
So, Pastor Tim, what your church is in Cameron, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the name of your church?
Crossroads Assembly Church.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
6 years.
6 years, okay. So what type of ministry do you have flowing at that church?
Just a lot of helps ministry, love. We have a powerful teaching. It's a very family-oriented church, and we have a lot of different ministries for the entire family.
Okay. So are you traveling around the world right now, or traveling around the country with Pastor or Minister Meadowlark Lemon here?
Yes, I'm having the thrill of my life because it was always my dream as a kid to play basketball with the great Meadowlark Lemon, and I saw him play when I was 9 years old in Memphis, and I spoke it out, and I said, one day I want to play with this man, and some 30 years later, the Lord has opened the door, and last Friday night I played my first game with him.
Okay, so where did you play basketball before?
I played at an awesome high school in West Memphis. I'm from West Memphis, Arkansas, and played with a tremendous team there. And then when I came out of high school, went to college in Springfield, and played 4 years there in a Christian college. And then from there, tried out from some pro camps and ended up playing with a team called Athletes in Action. And just had a tremendous time playing with those guys.
Now, Meadowlark, as an inspirational speaker, what types of groups do you speak in front of around the country?
Everybody, man. I try to hit everybody I possibly can. I'm in the youth prisons, and I feel like I can help the youth a little more than I can the adult. So I prefer going. I'm called to go into the youth prison, and that's where I work from. I work in the local churches. A lot of people think I should deal only with the young people, but I deal with families totally, and I enjoy what we're doing. But Pastor Tim didn't tell you everything. He gave up scholarship to big universities around the country because God was calling him to the ministry and pulled him out of those places. And I believe he could have gone into the NBA if he'd gone to some of those larger schools, but he moved on, and then here he is preaching the gospel, the good news. And Pastor Billy Thompson, he was a college All-American also. He played with the Lakers for several years, and he had 2 championship rings. He's not here now, but he'll be coming in here for Friday night's game. Then too, we brought a couple of the other ball players with us, Bruce Sugar Bear Capers with us, and then we brought Tyrone Hollywood, Hollywood, and he's a producer and director also. So he's also in the Word. These are Christian ball players that we're dealing with here. Totally, they love the Lord with all their heart.
That's right.
So do they play? They're going to be playing with you Friday night.
They're going to be playing with us, and if you want to see some of the ball handling they can do, well, you can check this out.
All right. We're just pausing for a little bit. We're going to go do it here in a second. Okay. Yeah, well, I can go ahead. We can shoot it after the interview if you want to.
Yeah.
We'll just continue with the interview.
Boy, I can tell you've done this before.
Okay. Now we're starting right here. I'll just edit it.
You got your comment about how good he was?
Preview for Friday night. All right.
Okay, I'll give you a 5-second count.
Okay.
5, 4.
Well, that's a good preview for what's going to be happening tonight in Cameron. Could you tell me how this all began with the Harlem All-Stars?
Well, it just started some time ago. After I left the Trotters, you know, I formed another group called the Bucketeers, along with a good friend of mine, possibly the greatest basketball player who ever lived, Wilt Chamberlain. Then I had another great basketball player with me, Andy Johnson. Then Marcus Haynes came on later on, and we played all around the country. Then I had another team called the Stars, the Shooting Stars, and but the ministry was taking up a lot of my time, so I kind of walked away from it a while. And here recently, I said, I'm going back and play those 16 games. Then I'm going to play another 59 games to catapult me from 10,000 played to 10,000 consecutive played, which means that I went to work every day because I enjoy my work. A lot of people don't really know what that means. They just say 10,000 games, and they say, whoa, man, that's good. You know, how do you do that? I don't know how I did that. But what it really means is if an NBA player played 100 games a year, it would take him 100 years to play as many games. So we know that's not going to happen. And I'm doing some things now that nobody has ever done. I don't know how we did it, how we got to this point. And then I'm no longer 20 years old. So a lot of the people who grew up with me out there, you grandfathers, you know, you don't have to stay home and do nothing, you know. I'm a grandfather 12 times. You know, I have 10 kids.
Blessing.
Yes, I'm blessed. And 12 grandkids, you know. So, but I'm going to be playing 75 basketball games at my age. You know, I feel good. I'm healthy. God has blessed me. He takes care of me. He watches over me and my family.
Now, playing with the Harlem Globetrotters, of course, over all those years, you play a very unique brand of basketball rarely seen by others, although others would love to imitate it. Now, saying this...
but see, they don't have the lemon flavor. You gotta have that lemon flavor in
So
there.
have you found other athletes that, you know, how do you get a group of passers that have that lemon flavor and play with you, play at your level?
Oh, gosh, there's so many wonderful athletes out there, basketball players. They're so good today that, you know, gosh, all you have to do is put a program together for them, and most of them will be able to do some of the things that we do. God, and especially those that God has really blessed. I personally believe that there are two things that God has given the athlete today. And when you see it, you know that it's God. One is timing. Another is speed. When you see those two things happen, you know God is behind it, because only that comes from above. Plus, a lot of the athletes that I see, you know, they've had praying grandmamas in their prayer closet, praying that their child or their grandchildren would not go down. They're going up.
And how did you get to this area of the United States to play this game that you're going to be playing tonight?
Well, you know, I've played all over the country. You know, and there were times when we'd come to Kansas City, we'd also stop in St. Joe, you know, and some of the other smaller areas also. But after Pastor Tim and I got hooked up, in fact, I didn't even know where Cameron was at the time. So when we heard about Cameron, you know, we said, well, let's do something here in Cameron. And not only are we going to play this basketball game, but later on, we're going to come back and we're going to help and support his church also.
Okay. So, Pastor Tim, are you going to be traveling around the country with him playing ball as well?
Yes, sir.
You're going to be playing on this tour?
Yes, sir.
All right.
But he's going to be back in church on Sunday, okay?
Make sure of that.
Yeah, he'll be
Don't
back
play
in
with you from
church on Sundays.
All right. So, how many games do you have to go? You're going to be on a 16-game tour. What
Well,
number is this one in Cameron?
This is our tune-up stuff
Okay.
here. You know, trying to get us ready for the big dance.
Okay. So, what groups who will you be playing against?
We're going to be playing against an all-star team from Cameron. Some coaches, some who played in the universities and colleges around the country, who have assembled just to play this.
Okay.
And as of right now, we have 4 pastors who were All-American basketball players who are on the team also. And they will not play every game, but periodically we'll bring them in and out.
Okay. Now, Meadowlark, in a life full of excitement, you know, you travel to many countries, play basketball in front of popes, play basketball in front of presidents. What has the most fulfilling moment been in your life thus far?
Receiving my salvation and the salvation of my family. You know, all of my kids are saved, you know. You know, some of them get a little to the left every now and then, and we have to pray them back into the right spot. But all of my kids are saved. Every one of them, all 10 of them, they're saved. They know the Lord.
All right. Well, Meadowlark, Pastor Tim, I really appreciate you for joining me today on the show. And, you know,
I'm coming back, man. I got to come back here and spend some time with y'all here.
We'll make sure and come see you tonight then.
Thank you. God bless all of you out there.
Bless.
If you'd like to see, oh boy, we'll cut that. Okay.
Celebrities making.
If you'd like to see Meadowlark Lemon and his All-Stars play in Cameron, Missouri, you may go to the Cameron, oh boy.
High school.
Start over again. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Okay. If you'd like to see Meadowlark Lemon play with the All-Stars, you may go to the Cameron High School's gymnasium at 7 p.m. tonight. All right.